Standard table of GTY header. Standard table of
If we take only this type structure, right, it will access only it can accept only single record. For that reason, we
structure.
are creating a separate table type.
GTY header.
So we define the type structure for input, and this is for output. Pretty printer, and go back. So now we define on type structure and table type. Now use this table type to define your method exporting parameter. Go to parameters, ex underscore t underscore header. I'm just using t just to like
Naming
provide
convention.
some naming convention. So that when you look at that naming convention, you can say that, okay, it might be a table type, which returns multiple records as output. Okay. Now we're done with the input and output, importing parameter and exporting parameter. Is it optional input or required input? Is the date
Required input.
required input, right? That's why don't select optional checkbox. Now go to methods, double click on the method. So what is the method signature here? The importing
IM
parameter
date.
is im underscore date. Exporting parameter is ex underscore t underscore header. What do you mean by importing parameter? The input
Importing
for the method.
parameter is
So we're going to get input values in the importing parameter, and we are going to return the output values from using exporting parameter. Now
select
if im underscore date,
is not initial.
it is optional. Again, I'm just writing it for validations. What are the fields we need?
Select
Okay, these are the list of the fields I want to select. Okay. Just copy and paste.
from okay into table.
Do we need to define a separate internal table here?
No.
Why?
We have to go inline declaration.
So even if you are using inline declaration, then we are defining a new internal table, right? In inline declaration, what is mean by inline declaration? We are declaring the internal table in the select statement itself. We are defining internal
Yes.
table, right?
Yes.
So what is my question? Do we need to define a new internal table here or not?
Already we defined. I think it is not required.
It is not required because observe the exporting parameter structure, the gty underscore t underscore header. Do we have the same fields in exporting parameter structure?
Yes.
Yes, already.
What is the order? Is it same or different order?
Same order.
Same order, right? If you have doubt, please go to the double click on here, go to here and check the order fields and the order. Same fields with the same order, right? So that's why
Yes.
Yes.
you can directly use this exporting parameter name here in the, you can use it as an internal table. You don't need to define a separate internal table. If it is different, exporting parameter structure and the data what you are selecting here are different, then define a separate internal table here using inline declaration, and after that populate the data to final internal table after some calculations. Okay.
Okay.
And what is the where condition? Where?
ERDAT,
Mm,
AEDAT in
mm.
S
IM underscore.
update.
Most of the data.
Okay, it is our input here. Okay,
Yes.
that is a range. Now we are passing exporting parameter in the select statement itself. What is the alternative for this?
IM
There
declaration.
are data, IT, GT, internal table, EKK.
Table.
And then
Passive sub RC.
pass this internal table data to your exporting parameter et underscore t underscore header. Right?
Equal.
Otherwise, you cannot see the output. Even you call the method, you cannot get the output if you don't pass the data to exporting parameter. It is mandatory to pass data to exporting parameter inside the method when you are returning the output. Clear?
Yeah.
No syntax errors. So our first method is ready. So activate all the relevant objects of this class method. So check. So these are also relevant to the same class method, the same class. Select all those and activate. Now your first method is ready. So let's go back to the program. Okay. How can you call this method in your program?
By
What is the
using
type of the
local
method?
Instant method.
Instance
instance
method. For that we have to create an object. How to create an object? What is the
create
syntax? What is the syntax to create the object?
object
Create object.
That's it. Create object. Don't need to define it.
data
Quote.
Hmm. Tell me the syntax to define the object.
Elements.
What is the syntax to define the object?
Local.
constant C
Okay,
underscore
okay. Wait. Don't need. I'll explain.
go data
So use the class reference to define the object and create the object here using
create
create
object
object
go object
and call your method here.
go to the pattern not initial
Even if you, after practicing so many methods, even you guys can't remember what is the syntax to define a object. Call the method. So what is the input for this method?
IM.
What is the input for this method here in our program?
The data.
As data.
IM before that.
Select option.
As select option. As
You have to
data.
pass it like this. Use angular brackets. Okay. When you are passing select option input to the method. Okay. And what is your output here? Et underscore header data is our output. Do we have any work area or internal table to handle this output?
No.
Either we have to create type structure similar to the CT underscore header data and define one work area internal table, or we can also use inline declaration like this. GT underscore header. Okay.
Okay.
So we got the header data. Let's test whether it is working or not.
GT header.
Display. Execute. So you got the output, right? So
Yes.
how it is executing? Keep a breakpoint. So this is the select option. Include between. This is the select option. And we are going to call the method. We created the object. Click on F5. It will take you inside the class method. F5. We got some data to the GT underscore header, but exporting parameter is still empty. Observe. Until you pass exporting data to exporting parameter, you're going to get the output here. Now observe GT underscore header. We have 282 records. This name can be anything. Whatever the internal table name you want to give, you can give here. You don't need to give same name like method. Okay. So now we got the header data output. Now what is the next step? Actually, this is not our purpose. We are just testing it. What is the next step?
Get item data.
That right.
Now prepare the method for item data also. What is the
Get
input for item
item.
data?
EKPO.
What is the input for item data method?
Output for a header table.
Output of the header table, that is this structure. So whatever the data we are returning from header data, that complete internal table data is the input for item data. Okay.
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 Get header instance public item data.
So now define the importing parameters for get item. Go to parameters, im underscore. What is the input?
Output
That is
The
header. Header data is our input. What is the type?
header type,
types
header type.
You already defined the type structure.
type section.
Yes.
We are already having a header type structure, that is gt underscore t underscore,
Header.
right?
Yes.
You can reuse the same. You don't need to create new type structure and table type. Okay, we can reuse the existing one. So what is the structure of this? This one. These are the fields. Now what is the output? So this is the output format, right? This is the output
Yes.
structure, right? Do we have similar type structure for this?
No.
No, we
No.
have to create the type structures.
Comma.
zty underscore item, and in public, go to here, save, just remove it from here, just remove it, place
Chain operation.
comma,
Types.
begin of
Big.
zty underscore item,
Comma.
comma, what are the fields? These are the fields, right? We need.
Yes.
Yes.
Always use pretty printer. Okay, so now we have created type structure for item data. Define one table type also.
Types.
gt underscore t underscore
Item.
Item.
item,
Type.
Type.
Standard.
Standard type. No.
TTY underscore item.
ETY item.
now go back to your method. Copy this, parameters, this exporting parameter, type is this. Now go to method, tell me the select statement here.
Select
Item.
Okay,
required fields.
required field means all these fields. Okay, from which table?
From
EKPO
PTO
into
into table.
into data into data.
So it is optional again. So we are taking
EX
the same fields in the same order, right? We can also directly
Yes,
take exporting parameter ex underscore
exporting
t underscore
that's right.
item.
item, because it's also like an internal table. Okay, you can
Okay.
directly pass the
Okay.
data, directly place the data in exporting parameter in the select statement itself, or define a new internal table and pass that internal table data to exporting parameter. What next?
For all entries in
Hmm.
EKP.
Which one? For all
Where
entries in
GTT header
ZTT header.
internal table of EKKO.
So what is the name? Tell me the exact name. What I have to use in for all entries.
GT
What is ZT underscore T underscore header? What is it?
internal table.
Is that the internal table or type
Global
structure?
internal table. Type structure.
type structures.
So where we are getting the data, in which parameter we are going to get the data as input in this method.
Header method.
IM
Data that
Okay.
from AEDAT.
So we'll be having input header data is in this parameter im underscore header. Use im underscore header where ebln equal to
Header.
we have to pass this, not the table type. Table type is just for reference. We're going to get data in this importing parameter im underscore header, and we are going to return data to exporting parameter, that is this ex underscore t underscore item. Please remember, please. Okay, so before using for all entries, we have to follow some conditions like sorting,
I am
header.
by
Delete
data
adjacent duplicate records.
I am understand
comparing
comparing
ebln.
EPM.
But don't do this on direct importing parameter or direct internal table. Use one temporary
Data.
internal table before that. Use a temporary internal table to do this.
data.
Data.
What you have to pass? Tell me what I have to write here.
Importing header.
You know that class
Header temp.
Yes.
Instead of direct importing parameter, use this temporary internal table I have created, and I have copied the importing parameter data to this header and internal table, a local internal table. Okay, if is not initial, that means if there is some record in it, and if also replace this here, instead of direct importing parameter, use this temporary internal table. Okay, now we are directly passing our data to exporting parameter. You don't need to write a separate statement to pass internal table data to exporting parameter. escape. Okay, is it clear?
Clear.
Now we're done with item data. Now call your method in item data. For item data, go to your program. What is the next step?
Create object.
Object is already created.
Okay.
We are this object, so all these methods are from the same class, right?
Yes.
You don't need to
Yes.
create object again and again for the same class methods. Okay, once you create the object, you can reuse it.
Column.
Okay. At run.
Okay, go to ABAP object patterns. So this is our object, this is our class. Select your item data method. Continue. And pass the importing parameters and exporting parameters. What is the importing parameter for this IM underscore header? What you have to pass here? What is the input for this item data method?
Other data output.
Email.
Other data output.
The data output GT header.
Okay, define one inline underscore item.
Data GT.
Item.
So now we have item data in this internal table. Once the method execution is completed, we're going to get the item data into this internal table.
If
We need one more method to get the material data. What is the input for material data? So purchase order item
What?
data is the input for material text data. So create one method for text data.
get text.
Material.
Some whatever the name you want.
Something like material.
Okay. So now define the parameters. So what is the input for material data? Item data is the
IM
input
header.
for
Item level.
Y header data. We need item
No,
data.
sir. Item.
Item level.
So what is the type of this one? We are already having a type structure, that is GT underscore T underscore ITE, right?
Yes.
We need one exporting parameter. What is that data we are expecting? This one, material number and material text. Let's create one exporting parameter. Or how many fields we have in MAKT?
4.
So only 1, 2, 3, 4 fields, right? So just for only 4 fields, right? I don't need a separate type structure for this. What I'm going to do? I'm not going to create a type structure here. Please observe. Instead of type structure, what is the alternative? Go to SC11.
Structure.
If you use MAKT, if you use EX underscore T underscore MAKT, exporting, If you use MAKT, is it going to work as internal table like structure or work area like structure?
Internal table.
Within the
Internal table.
I explained you many times, not the single time. I explained you many times. If you use direct table reference here or structure name here, it's going to act as a work area like structure. Even yesterday also, I've drawn a picture and I've clearly shown you.
Yes.
Still, you're confusing. I don't know why. Even I've sent you in WhatsApp, I think. Maybe I've sent you a different one. But when you use structure or table name, it acts as a work area like structure. For this, you have to create a table type. If you want to make it as internal table like structure, you have to create a table type. Go to data type. It's already existing. Someone already created it. Gdemo MOAKT. Someone already created with these two fields. Gdemo s underscore MAKT. We have, so these two fields, right? We need. These are the two fields, right? We need Matner and
Yes.
MAKT. Someone created a
Yes.
structure with these two fields, and they've already created a table type by using this structure as a line type. You know, right, how to create a table type? So
Yes.
Yes.
just reuse it. We're not going to create any local type structure, types or anything. This is alternative for this type structures. You can also create a structure with required fields and create a table type for that structure and use it here as an importing or exporting parameter. But we achieved
Okay.
it through types without creating data dictionary objects. Okay.
Okay.
You got it right, the difference. So we can achieve the same using data dictionary structures, creating a data dictionary structure and creating a table type. But here we did not create any data dictionary structures and table types. We achieved it through types. We created local type structure and table type, and using that in methods importing and exporting parameters. Right? Is it correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Just observe the difference. You can define the define the importing and exporting parameters by using these data dictionary structures also. Okay. But when you use table name or structure name, is it going to work as internal table or work area?
Work area.
When you use table type,
Internal table.
yes, that is the major difference you have to identify. Okay, go to methods. Write the code for get material. Select Matner. MAKT into table. So can I take direct exporting parameter reference?
Yes.
yes,
I don't know. First, let me check. What is the table type? So this is the table type. Double click on the structure. What are the fields we have? Matner and
Partner and make
MAKTX, right? So first is Matner and second is MAKTX. Are we following the same fields and same order in the select statement?
Yes.
yes.
Yes. So now we can take it.
take it.
If there is a different order or if there are different fields, different number of fields available in both structures, then you should not directly take this exporting parameter. You should take some internal table and later you have to convert that internal table data into our exporting parameter. Okay. Tell me the where condition.
For all entries.
For all
Math,
entries in
In
which one?
IMT,
IMT,
T
item.
underscore item, where
Math,
matter equal to
equal to IM
I am selecting
hyphen
item.
matter.
Math,
That's
here
it, right?
matter spelling. Here matter spelling is MET.
Is it correct?
Yes.
yes.
Is the syntax correct? Is the select statement is a proper select statement or not?
No, enter table at the rate.
Okay, into table at the date. We're using exporting parameter, no issue.
At the rate data.
So are we following? Are
if
we using proper select statement or not?
Before
No,
using
no,
for
no,
all
not.
entries, we can rules.
If we use it for
First thing
all
you have to
entries, we need to
remember when
define
we are using for all entries, we have to
art and
follow
Right.
follow the
descending
Data.
method.
rules
sorted,
by
Matter.
M
Matner. Is it ascending or descending? Is it going to sort by ascending or descending?
Art ascending.
Ascending. By
sending.
default sort is ascending. If you want to default,
Sending.
if you want
This
to
mention
sort
descending.
descending, you have to mention descending.
Mention descending order.
Okay. Then high value to low value. Descending means high value to low value. Ascending means low value to high value. So don't apply this on your actual importing parameter, but use a mm,
And writing name. I think here.
okay. Now tell me, is it a proper select statement?
Before we can use
See, can you check this? When you are trying to sort the importing parameter, what is the error you are getting? You cannot modify the importing parameter. Whatever the data, whatever the values in importing parameter, you cannot change it. You cannot sort it. You cannot change it. You cannot delete any records. Whatever the data inside importing parameter. Please remember that. Okay. Whatever the data we are passing in importing parameter, you cannot modify it. Okay. Just copy the data into a different internal table or work area or variable and do the modifications. Okay. You have to keep this after this. Now tell me, no syntax errors. Now tell me, is it a proper select statement? Is it a proper syntax or not?
Yes.
Yes. Tell me, is it a correct code or is there any mistakes?
correct.
Correct. What is this table MAKT?
We can pass
What is this
header
table?
table,
What is this table? MAKT.
item, material text,
Material.
Text table.
text,
It is material text table. It is a text table. What is this? What
Language.
is this table?
language, keys,
What is this
pass,
table? Text table, right?
material.
So
Yes.
how many
Language.
times I told you for text tables you have to pass language key in the where condition.
And
Language.
here where condition we have to use in,
Why we need to use in?
because we are passing select option
Where we are passing select option?
in table
Which one is the select
program.
option here?
Here there is no select option.
So go to the program, call this method pattern,
Pattern,
web object patterns.
pattern.
So it's all right. You don't need to create the object because we have already created the object. Pass item data as input for the importing parameter. And return the output into some internal table. So if it is internal table or work area or variable, that just depends on the importing parameters and exporting parameters, how we defined it in the class level. Okay. So now it is clear, right?
Yes.
Now we are calling all these three methods. Now what is the next step? So let's
Output.
create one more method to merge the
All three.
three data, header data and item data and material data into one final internal table. That is, let's take prepare output. It's also an instance method. Visibility is public. Okay. Save. Now define the importing and exporting parameters.